part 1, we made some flower beads inspired by Chanel, and this is what we ended up with. Wait, hang on. And now we need something to sew them onto. So, my original plan was to make a dress, but I was having trouble coming up with an idea that I actually liked. And sometimes when you're overwhelmed and overthinking, it's best to go with what's simple. Simplest? More simple? Easier, the path of least resistance. So I decided to put my effort and my focus into the embellishment part, the beads, the sequins, the sparkly things. And this is what this 2-part video series thing is all about anyway. Things that sparkle and make me happy, because I love them. So what I'm going to do is use a corset pattern that I have used before, that I've stuck rhinestones onto many times. I'm going to do that instead of making my own, which I normally try to do. But that's like a whole other thought process. Like, it's over there and I'm over here. But anyway, this is a free pattern from Mood. I will link it below if you want to make it as well. It's pretty easy. I am going to add straps to it because that's just better for me and my body type. Don't want any incidents. Things falling off. So just going back to our mood board from the last video, the vibe for this part is soft western, slight cottagecore, touch of glam. But anyway, let's figure out some fabrics. So I have some idea of what fabric I want to use. I'm thinking like a velvet might be really nice. So I have a white and an off-white velvet, and I'm trying to see what looks best with the colors that I have of the flowers. And I'm thinking the white velvet is a little too white. It's a bit stark white, and this one's really pretty. It has these like lines or like creases on it, and I think it's so pretty, and I feel like it would add a really nice textural element to it, and I can kind of like work with the lines with the design. One of the fabric stores online, they do buy one get 3 meters free. So you get 3 meters for the price of 1, basically. And every once in a while I'll go on there and impulse buy something that I don't actually need, and I just think is really pretty, and this was one of those things. So I have 3 meters of this, which is way more than I'll actually need. So, you know, every once in a while those impulse buys come in handy. So, I think we found our fabric. Ooh. Pattern is now cut out. So to give it some stability and structure, because this fabric is very flimsy, I ironed on some iron-on interfacing to give it that stability and structure that we need. Now, because this is a velvet, and velvet is a little temperamental and doesn't always like iron-on things, and half the time it doesn't like to be sewn, to be honest. I did a little test patch just to make sure it was okay, like it wouldn't burn or melt anything, and it actually went on really well. This fabric ironed beautifully. I don't know what this is. I'm assuming it's a polyester. I don't know what I bought. Yeah, so no problems there. So do keep that in mind if you're ever working with velvet or temperamental fabrics. Sometimes you have to do like a sew-in interfacing. You just sew it in. It does look kind of pink, flat, but like held up. It's supposed to be like an off-white, but it is looking a little pink. But anyway, let's put this bad boy together. So yesterday I just took the time to clean up the top. I just had to fix a few things, and then I just hemmed everything, finished all my edges, and today we're continuing on, or at least trying to, and thinking about what we're gonna continue on with. Oh, also, yesterday I did make some more little flowers, little petals, and I just painted them with the white pearl stuff. I was playing around with the different flowers yesterday and just trying to see like what looked good, and I felt like it needed just like a neutral flower, a neutral color in there. So white it was. I feel like it helps it out a little bit better because something was kind of bothering me about the color choices that I did, and I think it was the purple. The purple was bothering me, so I don't think I'm going to use the purple ones, and I might add a bit of red to the pink, the large pink flowers, because they kind of just blend in at this point. It's ended up kind of primary color, which wasn't my intention. I bought the wrong red paint. It was supposed to be like a dark burgundy, and that's what I thought I bought, and then I brought it home, and then I realized it was not the burgundy one. But anyway, that's whatever at this point. Unless I add purple to the pink flowers. Maybe. The pink is kind of blending in with the fabric a bit, which isn't the worst thing. So before I attach our things, our lovely little flowers, I want to add straps and add on, what is it called? Like the parts, the little things so you can tie up the corset part. I'm not going to do grommets because I don't want to. I'm just going to do little ribbon loops. But I think I'm going to do that in green. Let me find my green ribbon, just 1 second. Alright, this is my green ribbon that whatever. Anyway, this is my green ribbon. I feel like it needed some green, because that's just what I feel like. Flowers, greenery. But I didn't want to like be like an obvious kind of green, like just leaves or whatever. So I thought I would do like the straps in the green and like the back part in green. I just want to get everything sewn on that I need to with like the sewing machine first, because I don't want to have to use my sewing machine with stuff on it in case they break or something, which is a very good possibility. For the back, I took my green ribbon and twisted it to make a loop, and I used fabric glue to hold them together before I sewed them on, mostly for my own sanity. I used a lighter just to finish the edges so it wouldn't fray, which you can do with any synthetic material. I like how they sort of look like leaves and just add a nod to that botanical flower vibe that we're going for. So I played around with where I wanted the flowers to go and different things I could add to it, such as beads or maybe some ribbon leaves. But I started with the big flowers first and worked around those, and I just used round gold beads for the centers. Tragedy struck when I broke my beading needle trying to attach a petal, and I couldn't find my other ones, because I've lost them. But then I remembered I technically had some vintage ones that were in a box that I inherited from my grandmother, so we were back in business, and I didn't have to go buy any. So yesterday I got all the flowers sewn on, and I'm pretty happy with it so far, which was mildly surprising because I did not expect this to go that well. But I like it. So today I just want to add some little extra things to it, just to jazz it up a little. I want to add gold seed beads. Yeah, I'm wrecking it. It's fine. It's fine. I want to add some gold seed beads in lines following the lines that are already in the fabric and just like highlighting that a little more. I was thinking of adding like beading along the edges, but I'm thinking no. I'm worried it's going to be too much. I don't want to overdo this. I want the flowers and the fabric to be the focus of this and not make it too busy, which I have the potential of doing. I like to just keep adding on things. Sometimes you just need to, you need to know when to stop. So my yellow flowers ended up being 6 petals instead of 5, so I had like 3 left over, so I did like a little half flower. And so I need to figure out something to make it look a little less weird, kind of like making it look like a flower that's like folded up or something. I just thought the yellow flowers looked better with more petals, and it also like changed it up because there's a lot of 5-petal flowers here. So we need some variety with some 6-petal flowers. Ideally it would have been 7, but I needed to bring yellow in over here and I didn't feel like making any more. So I have some gold seed beads, and I'm just gonna do them in little lines, just like 3, 3, 5, 7, odd numbers, because things look better with odd numbers. So I'm gonna do that. I have sequins too. I like these clear sequins, which I thought would be kind of cool, but I don't have clear thread, so it might not work. I also have white sequins. I have a lot of sequins. I want to do another project with sequins at some point in the future because they're kind of fun. My first video on here was a fully sequined corset pattern. I think it was this one. I've used this pattern a lot. It's like a good base just to throw things on because that's my favorite part and it's fun. I need something to put these beads into so they don't roll around, because my floor is kind of slanted, so this table is kind of slanted, so anytime you put any rounded shaped objects on it, it tends to just roll off. There's a lot of beads on the other side of this room. So I need to find a little thing. Hang on. Okay, I found like this little plate tray thing, which should be fine. So our beads don't roll away. So I got all the little bead lines on, I think for now, and I started playing around with doing something along the top, just along the edge, not going past where the stitching is. And I think I really like it. I think it's pretty. So I think I'm gonna stick with it. Probably gonna go to about here and then like fade it out, just, you know, time-wise and material-wise and effort-wise. So I think I'm gonna continue on with this. So most of the time I was doing this, I was going back and forth whether this actually looks good or not. There was a lot of stopping and staring at it, coming back to it later so I could see it with fresh eyes. Because sometimes you can get a little tunnel vision with things, and it's good to take a step back and reevaluate. But I ended up sticking with it, and I felt like it was subtle enough for it to make sense. I was trying to keep it a pattern so it would look intentional and not completely random. So I did 3 smaller round beads spaced out, and then 1 big one, and then mixed that all in with translucent and solid seed beads. The vision I had for it was for it to sort of look like jewelry and like a solid piece. When I got to a certain point, I just did 1 solid line of seed beads. I also added beads on the straps to tie the whole thing together. Alright, so I managed to get it on. I just paired it with jeans because I wasn't really sure what to wear it with, but I think it kind of works. It's kind of like casual, but like fancy. Casual on the bottom, fancy on the top. I don't know. So I think from how I originally envisioned this to how it turned out, it's 2 completely different things. My original vision was sort of something more like a dress, something more lightweight, chiffon-y, flowy, and we ended up with a corset sort of thing. I kind of just went with the flow with it. And I think this is one of my favorite things that I've made so far. I'm really happy how this turned out, and I think it went with the vision board and the vibe I was going for. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised that it turned out well. Sometimes things turn out well, sometimes things don't, and this is one of the times where I'm pretty happy with this. And I've managed not to break any of the flowers so far. They do move around a bit, but so far so good. So anyway, I will see you in the next video.